Good evening.
We're live. Hello. Shut up.
Good evening, Martin.
We are live. Good evening, world. Welcome to
Good
News
evening,
Mondays.
London.
Hello, Julian.
Hello. How are you this fine day, young man?
No, you know what? I was feeling quite tired and a bit mopey about 20 minutes ago, and then I saw your lovely smiling face.
Oh, thank you, Martin. See, that's what happens with the show.
Brightened up immensely.
It makes everybody feel happy. It's a happy Monday show, is what we like to call it.
Yeah.
I think we're going to change the name to
You're
Happy Monday.
Tristan Marmelon, man.
Well, let's see how many people got there. Let's see how many people got there. Good evening, hello, Mom.
Hey, Sandy. Good evening.
She obviously got
everybody.
my WhatsApp.
Welcome to New Music Mondays. Thank you for joining us. If you're out there
At our new time. At our new time.
Well, new
Well,
time. South
my
Africa,
new time. Yeah.
Well,
My new time.
you're actually at the same. See, this is where it gets confusing. I could make this confusing. You're actually at the same time. It's us that's changed, but we're at the same time, and you've come back an hour.
So that's horribly confused me right now.
That's horribly confusing. Yeah, we
yes.
have leapt forward into spring. We've done this British summertime thing, so that we get. I don't know why did we do this? I can't remember.
I don't know.
It's something to do.
It's so you can have more daylight.
It was something to do with farming in the war, and yet we're still doing it for some godforsaken reason. Anyway, here we are. It means you get an early night.
It does. It does. That means I get an early night. I can have dinner like normal people.
You're sensible and don't do this whole clock changing nonsense.
No, we stay the same. Although it is getting darker earlier.
Yeah,
So
I guess,
that's one thing I noticed.
I guess I should be grateful because it means we are now heading towards the glorious, balmy days of an English summer.
And it is going to be a brilliant summer in the UK. The amount of festivals that I'm seeing open up and being announced is insane.
Yeah. Old ones, new ones, old
Glastonbury.
Glastonbury.
I have to show you what I got.
Come on. What you got?
I got it today. Guess what that is?
Fears, the new Tears for Fears album. Fantastic. They do good album covers, don't they? They've always been good.
I do.
They've always been good.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Nice tipping point. That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
It's very rakish these days, isn't it, old Roland?
Yeah. But I'm very excited. And I have also ordered my Placebo,
Nice.
which, my honest opinion, may be one of the greatest albums I've heard in a long, long time.
I saw you mention that the other day.
Oh, man, it's insane. It's a bit of Depeche Mode, Nine Inch Nails. It's so up my alley. It's ridiculous. So I'm very, very excited about
May
that.
have to check that. I've been very much enjoying listening to, I think I mentioned it last time, we were on Blue Weekend, the fantastic album by... I'm going in my head. I know the name of the album, and now I've forgotten the name of the band.
Oh, that doesn't help.
You know. Do this, smile. It's gone. It's completely gone. I'm having a senior moment.
It's okay. We're allowed to at our age, Martin. We are allowed to.
It'll come back to me.
It will
Anyway,
come back.
I've been very much enjoying it a lot, listening to it. Yeah, getting those vinyl. I was saying to a friend today, there is nothing quite like the sound of the needle dropping on the record. There is no.
Oh,
sound,
yeah, absolutely.
There is no sound like that.
I did get another one.
Wolf
this week
Alice
as well.
is the band of. Wolf
Oh,
Alice,
that's
man.
it.
Wolf Alice.
I did get that.
Amazing. Look at that. Fantastic.
Miles Davis, the soundtrack
Brilliant.
to the movie Miles Ahead, which is a great film. I really enjoyed it. Don Cheadle. Some nice vinyls.
I have ordered my Wet Leg album.
Have you? I did order mine too. Yes, I did.
Yeah, got that.
I did.
That's coming out next week, isn't it? That's very soon.
Yeah,
Got my,
the Placebo
new
came out on
album
Friday.
on order as well. So it's I'm just I think we've said before. I'm totally rediscovering the joy of two things: vinyl, but just albums as well. Just albums.
Yeah.
Generally. Albums. What an amazing thing.
It is.
Great.
We want more albums, everybody.
Yeah, fantastic.
But then again, we are onto singles tonight because that's what we talk about. Brand new singles.
Shall
New
we
music.
take a very brief moment just to
go for
do
it.
a quick doff of the cap and respect and rest in peace, Mr. Tim Hawkins.
Yeah, hectic.
Oh my God.
Wow. It's just insane. What is going on?
I don't know. But that was a bigger shock. I just literally on Friday morning I finished reading Storyteller, Dave Grohl's book.
Yeah, I've got it. Yeah, I'm like about to start reading it.
Brilliant. I mean, brilliant book. But I mean, the main thing, that's why it was sort of caught up with possibly a little bit more than it might have done Saturday morning, because within that he's talking so at such with such passion about what a great friend and what a great relationship he's had with Taylor Hawkins throughout the last 25 years.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
To hear the news was just very shocking, and to see the comments from people from across genres, from across industries, from across generations to say what a guy, not just a great drummer, but what a great person he was.
Yeah.
So he's going to be very, very badly missed.
Very, very sadly missed. Yeah. So yeah, sorry about that, world. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, let's get on to some new music, shall we? Because that's what we're all about. There was no football this weekend, so we can't talk football.
England played apparently, but who cares about that?
Yeah, they won 2-1 against Switzerland. Whoopee. It's a friendly. Yay.
We would have been playing Ukraine, obviously, but that's been knocked on the head. We would.
Although, okay, wait. Wales. Gareth Bale. Wow.
What I mean, that's where you show your class, right? What a world superstar.
Absolutely. I was blown away. Absolutely brilliant. And we won't discuss this morning's Oscars.
Well, it's probably just best not to, because there's no right thing to say, is there? So
no.
It's probably just best. Don't get involved, Julian.
Although, congratulations to Billie Eilish for winning.
And to Johnny Marr as well, who was involved in that track, which I think is a wonderful thing.
So that's great. So to see a Bond track winning Best Song at the Oscars, there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, that's the one before, didn't he? Sam Smith won the Oscar for his one, didn't he? Did he?
The only one that never won, and I was very upset, was Duran Duran.
Yeah.
Duran should have won an Oscar for View to a Kill. That's all I have to say. I leave it there.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah, I leave it there. Anyway, let's get our first guest on all the way from the United Kingdom. Here we go. There we go. Human Electrical Resource.
Hello and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How's it going, my friend?
It's good. I saw the Will Smith incident as well.
Yeah, we're not.
My overriding thought was, wait, what's the slap? What's with the slap?
If you're gonna hit him, give him a good fist up.
You're gonna do that? Hit him.
I always felt like I'm here now. I've got to do something. I don't know. I think that's why Chris Rock was so surprised, because he probably the gesture that he was making looked like he was probably going to give him a hug.
I thought, why didn't he go down? And I realised he slapped him.
Oh man, yeah. The only thing I do feel sorry for is poor comedians now around the world. Every time they go to a gig now and they do a gig, they're going to be so careful of what they say, because somebody's going to get up and say, well, if Will Smith can slap you, I can hit you too. Yeah. So it's kind of like, and now what?
You can't say anything. You can't write anything.
No. Which is like, you got to worry about that. But anyway, welcome, Mike.
I was going to say, I feel slightly sorry for all the other people involved in the Oscars last night, of which nothing has been reported whatsoever.
It's like, who won Best Movie? Best what?
Who cares?
Best movie of the night was the Oscars.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry for them. It was quite incredible. It was that indie streaming movie about the
yes,
the
and that's a thing.
Won the Best Picture.
Yeah, the whole movie is literally portrayed by deaf people. So it's like I think that's an amazing feat and it's the first streaming movie to win the Oscar for Best Picture. Is it Amazon? No, it's Apple Plus. It was by Apple.
Right.
Flipping Apple taking over again. Damn it. I was hoping Netflix would be the first, but anyway.
Completely overshadowed by other events. So, there we go.
Okay, let's get back to music. That's what we're here about.
The world, yes. Before we get ourselves into trouble. Good evening, Mike.
Good evening,
Mike.
You're coming to us from Cornwall in the UK, I believe.
Yeah.
How is life in Cornwall?
So it's ideal for music. I'm allowed to make as much noise as I want, but my fiance makes me wear headphones, so I can't really. So it looks good. It looks like I can make as much noise as I want.
I'll tell you what, though, you are quite right, though. There must be some... You probably know better than me. I can't think of the top of my head. There must have been somewhere along the line, someone's got to have made an amazing album from a farm in Cornwall. Apart from your good self, of course.
Oh, I don't know. It's all about sheep down there, to be honest, and fish.
I'm thinking, surely at some point Led Zeppelin bought a farm or something like that. Or...
There's studios down in Devon that lots of people artists want to, but I think the nearest you get for an actual album is the Fisherman like singing the songs, the shanties.
Well, that was very popular a
Electronic
year or so ago.
Electronic music hasn't really come down to Cornwall yet, apart from myself.
Fair enough. Where are Muse from? Are they not from that part of the world?
I think they are actually, yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
enough about other artists. What I was getting at, this idea of making music in a farm in Cornwall, that creates already you've got the mystique. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Already, this sounds like it's going to be good. So what's the musical background to Human Electrical Resource, Mike?
Well, there isn't one really. I came to music. I learned the guitar in my teenage years. And like everyone else, I just put it down and I got on with life, had a career. And then when I was 43, I was diagnosed with diabetes. So I was living in Hertfordshire at the time. So I thought, I don't want to live this lifestyle anymore. What do I want to do? And I've always loved music. So just as a hobby, I bought myself a little studio, not here, and I just started making music. I just write on the piano or guitar. I do it, although my music's electronic, the core of it's always on piano or guitar. So I just started writing music for fun. And then the first 50 I wrote, I just deleted them. And then it was my fiance said, actually, you're quite good at this.
Okay.
So that's basically, then we moved down to Cornwall and just changed my lifestyle. I lost a bit of weight. I started walking, eating healthy. And I decided from that point that I'll only do things I enjoy.
Good.
I wanted to go back to how, as adults, we like the mundane of life, it just drags us down, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just go to work, we pay bills, and it's not, life's not about paying bills. We need to have something else. So because I was ill, I kind of started to reevaluate my life. I started to wonder how long I've got and all this sort of stuff. So if you listen to my first album, Mevagissey Skies, it's quite melancholic. And it's about like coming down to Mevagissey, looking at the skies, how long have I got? I was a bit of a drama queen, to be honest, at that stage. And then as the next album was essentially called Karma, and that was getting like heavier, more dance orientated. And then I had some songs about my nan in there and all this sort of stuff. And then, so this album is more, when I've written the 3 albums, I was thinking as a gig. I wanted it to start off quite mellow and just build up and build up. So this album that's coming out, Renegade, is a lot more, it's melodic, and there's some slower ones in it, but even the slower ones have got like a beat behind them.
Right.
So I always said when I started doing this, it's like when you're acting, if you just half-ass it, am I allowed to say that? Yeah.
Of course you can. Say whatever you want.
Take it back.
Yeah.
Fuck's sakes. What the fuck are you doing?
Oh, but I said to myself, when I write lyrics, I'm not an 18-year-old kid anymore. So I don't want fluffy. I don't want, it's got to be true to you.
Yeah.
So my idea, I like the idea of someone listening to my music and it's quite up-tempo and they're tapping their feet and the melody's happy, but the actual lyrics, we're talking about male suicide, for example, on Man Down. We're talking about on a new single that's coming out, called Mother's Boy. It's about domestic violence. Renegade's about the 1%ers, like controlling us. So you're tapping away, and subconsciously you're thinking about like thought-provoking like subjects.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Otherwise, it's just me going on, and you've got to be authentic. You've got to be. I wrote 2 songs on my last album, Karma, called These Days, and White Light, and they're about my nan's anniversary of her death. And if you listen to the lyrics, they're kind of really personal.
Yeah.
But you have to put yourself out there. You have to be emotional. So for example, the song on this next album is called Man Down, and it's about male suicide. And men are afraid to talk about this sort of stuff. The song starts off, real men don't cry, and then it ends up with real men do cry. And it's about a situation I was in about 50 years ago where I was lonely and I was just upset. And so I released it, and then I had an email from someone in Argentina, and he said, "Mike, I'd just like to thank you." I was like, "What for?" He said, "That song stop me doing something stupid. So I was like, wow, if if just that one person hears that Man Down song, and it's stopped him doing
definitely what it's about. We've spoke about this a little bit on the show before. A couple of weeks ago, we had a band on, Golden Bloom, who are writing a song called Chin Up, which is a similar thing about that sort of overt masculinity that stops us from sharing. And I was speaking to a friend of mine recently. He was saying that he was concerned that his music and his songs were too personal. Like he was kind of, I'm sharing my experience, but is anyone interested? And saying to him, well, what you've got to appreciate is that you sharing your experience will be shared with someone else. There will be someone out there who will be going, oh, I'm not alone. You get that. You get that as well. They'll hear you saying it, and they'll
absolutely.
Know that's how I feel.
Yeah.
You know what? Strong people are let themselves be vulnerable. You know, weak people don't let themselves be vulnerable. If you're secure in yourself and you know who you are, then it's okay to. Well, it's always okay to be vulnerable, but you've got the strength to be vulnerable. Yeah. Like one of the songs on the new album is called Mother's Boy, and basically what it's about domestic violence. Me as a kid and my sister as a kid, listening to my mum getting hit. And we went on the run, and you know, all sorts of sort of like. But I spoke to my mum and I said, "Mum, if you don't want me to release it, I won't release it." And she, bless her, she said, "If it helps one person, release it."
Yeah, absolutely.
Well said, Mum.
Absolutely, well said, Mum.
Yeah, but it's not doom and gloom. I like that. I like to have a melody and a beat as well. So while you're thinking of this sort of stuff, you're tapping your feet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Same thing we spoke with Golden Bloom said the same thing. I mean, it's very much a post-punk smash your head around kind of music, but the message is in there as well. So, speaking of which, shall we have a listen?
Let's do it.
And then we'll get a sense of where you're coming from in terms of tapping your beat. It's definitely there.
Cool.
This is Renegade.
Here we go.
Right? That's the one we're playing, isn't it, Renegade?
That's the one. Here we go. Take a listen. Let us know what you think.
This is the line you get to cross over.
Renegade, renegade.
You get to choose what side of Canada you want to stand on. Do you need to hear your oath again? You got everyday citizens here.
Renegade, renegade.
You have children's, you have mamas, you have parents, you have truckers, you're Canadians.
Your propaganda and planted lies. Hypnotising the world with your evil bite. Brainwashing us so we'll all comply, telling us what to say, do and think.
These are your brothers and sisters, these are your brothers, this is your humanity.
Renegade, you made of me. Renegade, renegade, I didn't want to be, but I can see it back all while you spread your corporate disease. Renegade, renegade, you made of me. Renegade, renegade, renegade. For centuries we've been under your control, being led blindly into an apocalyptic black hole. You've got us all addicted to our consoles, knowing we all soon be controlled. Renegade, renegade, you made of me. Renegade, renegade, I didn't want to be, but I can see it back all while you spread your corporate disease. Renegade, renegade, you made of me. Renegade, renegade, renegade.
You guys have our veterans in tears. Our veterans are in tears because they know this is not what they fought for. Our veterans are literally in tears. You got mamas in tears and you got your veterans in tears. The veterans that fought for this country are in tears. You see it, you feel it. I'm watching you. You feel it.
Controlling us for thousands of years, pure religious vibe, and the monarchy we forget time. The banking system control us now, but we the massive awakening up to you. Your time is coming to an end. Your time is coming to an end. Renegade, you made of me. Renegade, renegade, I didn't want to be,
These are your brothers and sisters. These are your neighbors. This is your community.
Renegade, renegade.
You see it. You feel it. I'm watching you. You feel
Renegade,
it. Our veterans have
renegade.
tears. They did not sacrifice their brothers and sisters and their lives for this moment. This is what you signed up for, to protect our country.
Mic's on, everybody.
Yeah, my mic's. There we go. My mic's on now. Renegade! I'm shouting around. I'm like talking away, and my mic's off. Ah.
Is it me or is it you?
It's me. It's me.
We'll have one of those.
You need one of those.
There we go.
There we go.
Brilliant
It
stuff.
reminds me. It kind of makes me feel of a bit of an electronic Marian Faithful. Make any sense?
I'll take that.
Especially the female vocal. It really gives me that Marian Faithful kind of vibe.
I was wondering how you got Lady Gaga to sing on it. That's pretty impressive.
Oh, friend of a friend.
Good work.
As I said, and also, if that's you, that's impressive.
Yeah, well, yeah. Just wear tighter shorts.
So what plugins are you using to get that sound?
When I first started doing electric resource, it was just me and just other singers.
Yeah.
But for the last two albums, I've used Ariana. So essentially, we've not like announced it, but we're basically doing an electrical resource. I've never actually met her. She lives in Italy.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's a great vocal. I say, in all seriousness, it's got real Lady Gaga vibes. I think. So that sort of vocal style, really good. Yeah.
And the voice, the other voice you can hear, her name's Christine Nagel, and she's basically a nurse, and she's part of the Canadian freedom truckers movement. So so she was kind of
ask you. It's clearly you've got a message there on the image there saying it's supporting the Canadian fight for freedom. So yeah, very cool.
Like it very much.
So this is from from your third album. What's the situation with that album? Is that out now, or where is it?
I've got 4 more songs to mix the master, then it'll be out. So it'll be out April, May time.
Okay.
So
Cool.
there's 6 singles already out from the album. So I'm just having that decision whether I release some more singles or my heart's old school. I write 10 songs for an album.
Yeah.
But they just don't get heard anymore. So I don't know whether to just put some more singles out because they're good songs in my opinion.
We could debate that one.
Yeah, we've been having this debate.
People saying albums don't get heard anymore. Nah, that's not true.
I love an album.
That's not true. Albums do get heard. Albums get heard by people who want to hear albums. That makes sound like a stupid thing to say.
I have an album. This is an album.
Yeah, I used to. From this point on, I've stopped on Instagram and social media. I'm literally going away for 6 months because I've essentially since 2019 I've released 23 songs. I've released a song every 6 weeks for 2.5 years now. So I'm at that point now where I think if I go away, it'd be better. So just to give people a rest from the music, because people don't appreciate it. If you just do it often, people don't appreciate how hard it is to put music to.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, got you.
So,
in fact, do you know what's key about what you just said? And I hadn't really thought about this. I heard someone say this recently. The old school process of it would be sort of album tour, wouldn't it? That was kind of record album tour. That was kind of thing. And the point they were making was under that old process, if you're an artist band doing that kind of that cycle, what would happen is you record album tour, and then at the end of the tour, you get some time before you start the next cycle, right? Yeah. So like you said, what was really happening was 2 things: the artist is getting a bit of a rest, and their audience is getting a little bit of a break before they come back again as well. And the current situation seems to be like, no, it's continuous. You never get away from it. Never ever get away from it.
And I started to feel like I was on a conveyor belt. Yeah. And it wasn't that I'm taking 6 months away. It's not that I can't write more music, but I want a break from it so I can come back with fresh ideas. And I want to be like the olden days where, like you said, they go away to record, so you don't hear from them for a year. And then there's that excitement when they come back.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Got-
like, if I'm always
guess-
doing it, I think it devalues the music because it looks easy. If you're just doing a song every 6 months, it looks easy. So
I
therefore,
guess the bottom line is that what I suppose the beauty of the current scenario is don't want to sort of to use a great phrase, piss on your chips. But I think the great thing about the modern world is you can choose now. So it will be right for some people. It will just be a continuous process of kind of doing it, getting it out there, carrying on. And because
brilliant.
you've got that freedom of distribution, you're not relying on the background of a label saying no you can't, or yes you can, or no you have to.
but let's be
So
honest.
if you want to follow that process of I've got a track, I'm going to release it, you can.
Yeah,
But equally, Mike, as you said, if you've got a scenario where you're like, do you know what I want? I take some time, so I create a catalogue, and then I've got a sort of a cycle around that says here's the new phase.
Yeah.
Then it's clearly delineated, and whatever works for you as your artist and your audience. Then
When
go for
I
it.
first started releasing songs like properly, my goal is to do live gigs. So now I've got a collection of 35 songs that when it comes time to do gigs, I've got a set. I've got a good set of 30 songs that I think are really good. So now I'm at that point where I'm kind of bored myself 2 years by constantly on every day showing people how to do piano and stuff. I'm bored myself. So, but you're right. The new technology is brilliant because let's be honest, in the olden days, I wouldn't have been signed. I'm a chubby 43-year-old guy, I just wouldn't have been signed.
That's right. You're not releasing anything. So it's good.
No.
Yeah, pluses. Absolutely.
It's all a bonus.
Absolutely. So we'll look out for the album. Where's the best thing of people listening to this going, I like what you're saying. I like the cut of his jib, as they say.
Well, I'm on
where do they find you? You're not on social media yet. What's the best place to keep,
I'm on
keep up to
social
date?
media. I'm on Instagram, so it's Human Electrical Resource on the Instagram.
Right.
And there's a back catalogue of hundreds of posts, so you can see what I've been doing and
Cool.
I can bore
And
you.
presumably, when you get to the release date, that will start activating, and if people follow you there, they'll start getting stuff.
I'll put all that out on the release date, but all the back catalogues on all the streaming services on my website, Bandcamp. I wouldn't mind asking your opinion on something actually. Because
Opinions? We don't have opinions.
Don't have opinions.
I'm at a dilemma. I've got this album coming out. I don't know whether just put all the streaming services and just go here, have it, or just do the album on like a Bandcamp and my
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp, yeah.
I'm a Bandcamp fan.
Okay.
You make the money.
Yeah.
Streaming services, you make nothing. It's like put it on Bandcamp and let people, make the fans part of it. I think I'm a big Bandcamp fan.
Yeah. Well, I'm on Bandcamp, and I kind of, not begrudge, but I think I'm writing all this music, and I've not earned a cent out of it.
Yeah. I in the main agree. I'm gonna take a 90% position here.
Yeah.
Put it on. There's nothing wrong with streaming platforms. Streaming platforms are a good shop window for people to potentially find you, maybe through an algorithm, maybe through just accident, or maybe through a playlist or something like that. All great. So, not saying don't necessarily do that, but what I would say is when you are promoting your music, what I feel that is where artists are missing a trick is really kind of saying, I've got a new single out, why don't you stream it? And I'm like, why are you not saying, I've got a new single out, why don't you buy it? Just make that the message.
Yeah, that's
Tell
it.
people, my song is available on Bandcamp, you can buy it, stream it there. That's where you send people. If they find you on Spotify, they'll find you on Spotify anyway if they're interested.
So I was thinking maybe all the singles on all the streaming and the albums on like Bandcamp and my website.
Yeah.
So
And again, I'm going to go, there's no wrong answer. Do what's right for you.
Yeah.
And if you, in all seriousness, quick answer is, if you want to make money, you're never going to make money out of streaming.
No.
So
it's for money.
don't do it.
No, if we were in this for money, we wouldn't be doing it. None of us.
Well,
None of us. We do this because we love music.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You've got to start
Cool.
there.
Guys, we've got to move on because we've still got guests waiting. Sorry to push. We've got lots of guys waiting behind the stage, backstage for us. Thank you so much, Mike.
Welcome.
Yeah, guys, please go and support and get it on Bandcamp. Buy the album.
Go and
Buy it,
download
sweet.
it. It said even one song makes a huge difference to an artist. Just pay for
Absolutely.
one song. It's a huge
Yep.
difference.
Agreed.
Awesome. Mike, great speaking to you. Take care, my friend.
Thanks, Mike. Cheers, mate. Bye. Cool. Should we move straight on? See, we've got our next guest waiting.
That was a lot of that conversation was like a brief summary of the last 3 months of new music.
I know. I know. And believe me, there's more to come of it tonight because I don't think we've even. The subject is obviously getting more and more as well, especially a lot of the subjects that are being sung about these days. But let's get our next guest in. Here we go. Andrew. Good evening.
Hey.
Oh, look, we can do that because then now you're doing the sideways thing, so it actually works pretty nicely.
All right, cool. I like things that work
There you
nicely.
Look at that. See, it's just as well I went and put that hat on. Otherwise, I'd be feeling.
Because we all got hats. We all got hats.
messed out
I
again.
know. Well, see, here's the thing: is I was thinking, because Mike was so cool and talking about just believing in yourself. So I was just gonna go hairless, but then I got the light here, and I didn't want to blind your audience.
Martin's got the same problem.
I'm giving everybody. I'm helping people out here.
Yeah, fine. I was producing a band in the studio. I was doing some drum tracking in the studio the other day, and the guy that was in before me, I dropped the seat down below the screen, so I realised I was looking over the screen like this to see the guy in the other room. I pulled the chair up and said, "Oh, sorry, I know I've been ducked behind the screen there. I must have looked like the top of a boiled egg to you."
or a Tom.
All they could see was the top of my head.
Yeah, I saw it. Well, welcome, Andrew. Welcome to New Music Mondays. It's the first time we're having you on the show, so very excited to have you. So tell us quickly, who is Andrew Jed? Because you're obviously not South African. I can hear that.
No, but I live in Pretoria.
Up the road?
Up the road. No, I'm from California. And
Cool.
But I'm living here in South Africa. It's awesome. I'm super happy to be here. And by the way, I've been listening to and watching the show the past 30 minutes, and it's freaking great, you guys. Great job.
Thank you very much.
I particularly love the discussion about records and you showing that Tears for Fears album. I saw them.
What an
years
album.
ago. I saw them years ago, and then you were saying they do so great with their artwork, but I don't know, Songs from the Big Chair, that
Do you know what?
that cover's
Do
kinda,
you
it
know
doesn't
what?
impress me.
As soon as I said that, I was like, they do great artwork, didn't they? And then I thought, Songs from the Big Chair is not.
Not great. And also, they always look like this couple that have had a fight. Every single photo, they look like a couple who do not get on. Because they're always looking away from each other. So they just look like they've had a big fight. That is the typical Tears for Fears photo. I mean, isn't it again? Oh, this time they actually are facing each other. So that does make a change.
Well, sort of. Lover's chair.
Oh, you there? Andrew, we lost you for a sec.
No,
I think it's freezing.
I mean, Roland
freezing
looks
slightly.
like he's not that interested.
That's true.
No, that's true. Yeah. But listen, it is a great album.
Am I having to do this?
It is a great album. And to hear them back, I'm really excited. But enough about Tears for Fears. Let's talk about Andrew Jed, Panama City, because you've got a brand new single out, also from your album. Tell us all about it.
Okay, well, I will happily do that. So, going back to the discussion before about full-length albums, I started, spending my life's inheritance on buying records, and
as we all do,
falling in love with the concept of I've been in the music industry for a long time, right? From the time when you weren't releasing singles, you were putting out full albums,
cassettes,
CDs, and even those things were. I don't know why I'm holding a pink pen. Apparently, I'm holding a pink pen. Albums are thought through. They're full concepts from start to finish. So not only do you have a song that's a wonderful concept, it fits. And part of the wonderful aspect of artistry is figuring out kind of the puzzle pieces to make a great album. And then I love music, so I love obviously what opening up records has done is really kind of open that aspect of not only like how do you create the flow of an album, right?
Yeah.
So that your listeners carry through something really cool and really just they put the headphones on or whatever and they just are like out, they're in it. But also with specifically vinyl or cassettes for that matter.
You there? I keep losing you.
Split it. That happened.
Yeah,
Are you losing me?
I lost you for a second.
You were saying where do you flip it over? Was that the point you were making?
Yeah, and so, well, and all of that stuff is really kind of a fun aspect of music that is, for the moment, and I will say for the moment, doesn't seem to be a priority to the record industry.
Yeah.
However,
Is that me only, Martin, or you also getting breakup?
No, I think it's Andrew. We're losing your signal. Off and on, we're losing you, Andrew.
Sorry, we're losing you there.
Just in case it appears that we don't know what's going on, you're just breaking up just a bit, so we lose you for 10 seconds at a time occasionally.
Okay, well then I'll skip the banter and try to get straight to the point.
No, we're loving the banter.
No, we love the banter.
Well, the banter's the good backstory, because look, during COVID lockdown period, we all went kind of bonkers.
Yeah.
It was a terrible time for the music industry, but if you're a writer and if you have a studio in your house, you do a record and you do it how you want to do it, and I wanted, after, listening to these albums, I you pick up, and the albums that sound the best are the original ones from the era where they were mastered and designed for a specific audio system, which by today's standards weren't that awesome, but, you get the vision, you get the picture. So I wanted to do a record where I could basically take a listener through 13 songs and then write songs that go, you know what, that's not good enough to be on the record. That's not part of the big story that I'm trying to tell with this album. All the while knowing that it's just going to end up online streaming, and I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. And I wanted, because my sort of musical journey hasn't been necessarily about selling records until kind of recently. So all of these songs, what I ultimately did is I wrote what I would call an Americana album.
Nice.
Roots, vintage sounding. I got this mandolin here, but I also play electric. I play a lot of banjo on the record too.
I know it's there. Why am I pointing the
surfboard?
other side?
I needed to go surfing.
It's always been there.
What's that?
That's how we do this on the camera. It's like, why am I pointing the wrong side? I know it's there. Why am I pointing at the wrong side? Because I know it's there. And so, I play a lot of instruments. I have a lot of fun. So I just started putting all this stuff in, and I listened to. I would say actually the one album that almost. Of course, there's not one album, but if you could sort of connect a little bit from my influence on Silver Star, which is the name of this record, we're going to listen to the single Panama City, I believe.
That's right. Yeah.
But one of the closest comparisons I can think of is the B-side of Zeppelin 3.
Okay.
That's specific.
And that's the beauty of vinyl too, right? You say, well, it's not the A-side, it's the B-side.
Yeah, the B-side.
The B-side is the influence there. The Kinks, Everybody's in Showbiz, really was a great, really cool influence. And then, of course, Allman Brothers. But I really wanted to have this, a very clean, almost bluegrass. And Panama City is very bluegrass feel. And I'm assuming listeners more or less know about bluegrass, but it's not always a good assumption. But, basically it's roots music from America as it has developed. And it's just, the way I approach this style of music, which involves mandolins and banjos, is expanding it, exploding it to where it also involves electric guitars and B3 organs and drums, has a little bit of a jammy feel to it, something that almost takes you to a music festival, something that almost takes you to an open road, driving out into the country, into just open space, which I think was very timely, being that we all were so friggin' closed in. We were all dreaming of getting out. And so my music is really all about that, all about the adventure, the fun, the wild, and having a good time. And you don't always have to have like a stompy, clappy, happy song to have a good time. It's all about the highs and lows of that adventure, but mostly high.
And you
But-
coming from
no.
coming from California, Andrew, you've got that whole kind of the open road adventure. That's your growing up, isn't it? That's got to be. I'm heading out on the highway.
mean, oh my gosh, California! What an amazing place to be from. I'm so grateful for that. But I lived in Colorado for a lot of years too. So, which is where I sort of expanded as a musician, playing all these music festivals in the mountains.
Wow.
Camping by rivers, playing, sitting, backstage with some of the world's best musicians, just jamming in these sort of mountain festivals. Yeah, and then you drive across. I mean, the U.S. is amazing. You drive across to the next beautiful place and jam, and it's that's truly what I wanted to kind of recreate with this album that I just did. Now, like I said before, my journey through music, having lived in LA. Wonderful, super fun time, but I also started learning how to produce, how to be a record producer. And then there was also a time where music licensing and sync, getting your song. So I know the big discussion is always the big discussion is always vinyl versus streaming. How is that affected? But part of that discussion is getting your song used on a TV show or in a movie.
Oh, yeah, that's where you can make some real money.
And that is the sort of the last, almost pure way that artists and songwriters can actually earn a really good living. Now, it's getting very saturated, whereas 10 years ago, you could expect to see 5-6 figures if your song got used. Now you're going to see 4. And they'll say, "Oh, we ran over budget." Yeah, of course. You're always running over budget.
Of course,
isn't it? There's never any budget for music. Everyone knows that. It's the last.
Never, but it's
but yet it's what everybody remembers.
But I'll tell you
exactly.
What, I do agree with you.
Ever saw? Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm talking over you. What's that?
That's okay. I was just going to leap in and say, yeah, I think you're absolutely right about this saturation. And yeah, I'm going to say that same thing I think applies about opportunity. And that while that's true, there's because of the proliferation of streaming platforms and various ways of like people making like short form documentaries, YouTube, anything really. There's so much desire for that music. Whilst there's a proliferation of those. So you're right. There's a sort of market saturation, but actually there's also an increased opportunity. And though the numbers may be smaller, the opportunities are greater. So you're not getting the $250,000 deal to get your track placed on, I don't know, some huge American sitcom or something like that. But the chances of getting what could be a sort of almost life-changing amount for a small artist of, say, 10,000, 20,000 for a one-track placement in a streaming show, I think those opportunities are really, really there. I know a couple of music supervisors will say absolutely that. They'll go, we've got a small budget, so we can't blow it all on one track from Taylor Swift. Can we get 10 tracks from an Americana artist that's got the right vibe for our show?
Well, let's listen to it. We can come back and talk about the track because I want to hear it. I want people to hear it.
And then Andrew can say something instead of Martin, for fuck's sake.
So you're in. Which one of you are in South Africa? Are you both? So
Mate.
you know Dan Petlansky.
Now I was going to get to that after we play the song.
All right. Okay, we can get to that.
Okay, cool. Here we go. This is Panama City.
Finger on the trigger and shot me down. Shot me down in Panama City. Shot me down in Panama City. Put a pretty little finger on the trigger and shot me down. Shot me down in Panama City. Shot me down in Panama City. Put a pretty little finger on the trigger and shot me down. Too much of that cocaine, not enough friends. I'd probably make some different choices if I could do it all again. Thought that I could make it to the border about 1:15, but she was there at the station, smiling vacant. She shot me down in Panama City. Shot me down in Panama City. Put a pretty little finger on the trigger and shot me down. She shot me down in Panama City. Shot me down in Panama City. Put a pretty little finger on the trigger and shot me down. Shot me down. Come on.
fire this gun? Are you a man of good standing or a criminal on the run? Well, my sweet senorita, forgive me my ways. Am I a good man? Understand, it depends on the day. Yeah, not that it would matter anyway. She shot me down in Panama City. Shot me down in Panama City. Put a pretty little finger on the trigger and shot me down. She shot me down in Panama City. Shot me down in Panama City. Put a pretty little finger on the trigger and shot me down. Shot me down. If I'd have been sober enough, I could have tried to make things right. But when you break the heart of a woman like that, you don't get away with your life. There's a train up to glory, she said, gringo, get on board. Estoy mujer de la pistola, you're about to meet the Lord. And she shot me down in Panama City. Shot me down in Panama City. Put a pretty little finger on the trigger and shot me down. She shot me down in Panama City. Shot me down in Panama City. Put a pretty little finger on the trigger and shot me down. Shot me down. She shot me down in Panama City. Shot me down in Panama City. Put a pretty little finger on the trigger and shot me down. She shot me down in Panama City. Shot me down in Panama City. Put a pretty little finger on the trigger and shot me down. Shot me down.
Shut me down in Panama City. She put a pretty little finger and shut me down.
how instantly catchy is that?
Oh, that's like that's gonna be in my head for the rest of the night. No doubt about that. I love it.
And the point you were making about the kind of the sync and licensing, Andrew, is like,
that's for any good movie.
Anyone listening to this, tell me they can't hear that in the background of a movie. I was like, come on,
absolutely,
that's there already.
And let's just get to the point that you were about to make before we played the video. That features the guitar skills of probably the greatest guitarist in this country, bar none, and one of the finest guitarists in the world, Dan Patlansky. How did that happen?
Well, so I agree completely. Dan, and
what a guitarist.
He is one of the world's best. It's insanity.
Yeah. He's actually been rated as one of the world's best in most blues magazines around the world.
I know. I'm trying desperately to get that dude over to the States. I think that they would just eat him up. So he and I have become good buddies. We ended up playing a show together on the same night, on the same bill. And actually, the first time I saw him play he was playing with Bruce Springsteen. But then...
No, you're over there.
Oh, really?
And then, and so then I was like, oh yeah, I'm sure I'm making music with him.
That's the name I'm not... Oh yeah. Oh, Bruce who? Sorry.
Bruce who? And so we ended up on the same bill, and we just kind of totally hit it off, man. It was really great to be around such a pro, such a nice guy, and literally the world's best guitar player. So, and since he's also a Pretoria guy, we just kind of became buddies and shared very similar musical ideas. See, the thing is, what he does so well is blues.
Yeah,
he does so many things so well. But
he is the king of blues.
Is the blues guitarist, and Stevie Ray Vaughan kind of like, I don't know how he can get so many notes out of a guitar, and he does it with perfect tone and just a great heart. And so the music that I'm doing actually, and we then kind of went a little bit on tour together, did a bunch of dates in South Africa together, launching his new record, because there's a real connection between the rootsy Americana thing, even though it's bluegrass, mandolins, banjos, things like that. That is the same roots. You know, it's rooted in old blues, old gospel, old songs like that. You know, it's just the American tradition went one way, or the acoustic sitting on the porch playing stuff went one way, and the blues stuff went another way. Yeah. So that's why our shows together really work. Is it's kind of like bringing you through the songwriter,
love it, that,
and then he does his thing. And so I was like, you know what? part of my vision for this album, Silver Star, as well as Panama City and a couple other bluegrass songs that I have on the album, it's not a style that is widely known in South Africa.
No,
let
not at all.
Probably in the UK. But it's something that is seriously felt in the heart of musicians and audiences. And you guys yourselves, you were just totally into it.
Oh, yeah, totally into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You feel it, but the nuances of it. And so part of my vision with the record, and again, having a studio, you know, I've got friends in the States, players that I was like, you know, record for me some, you know, bass, you know, in the States. Give me some dobro. Send it over to me and I'll put it in the track. Because I wanted players from the States who know this genre to mix it up with players here who are brilliant,
not familiar,
but aren't exposed to that genre.
Yeah, brilliant.
Gotcha.
And every musician loves stretching their wings. And, you know, Dan was like, I mean, for as amazing as that guitar work is, you know, of course, he's like, I never get the opportunity to play this stuff, you know, and he was really into it. And you know, so we're going to develop more of that stuff together. We have some projects in the pipeline that we're really excited about, he and I, and stuff that we hope could be really, really cool, really rootsy, really, really vibey, you know, and he's just a great dude. And there's amazing talent in this country. And
Absolutely.
Part of what I love to do, and call it the LA in me or the Nashville in me or simply the American in me, is just to bring people together, you know.
Love it.
To play together, you know.
Are you playing live at all, Andrew? Are you playing live in South Africa at all? Are you playing live in South Africa at the moment?
Yeah, so I did that string of shows with Dan around South Africa here.
Cool.
I'm playing a place in Pretoria. It's a new venue, actually, that's quite cool. A new bar, and their vision is actually, this is where Dan and I met, actually. It's at the Savar Bar.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. I know the one. Yeah.
And it's really neat that they're really musician focused, which is great. They're, you know, is needed in South Africa. So I'm actually playing there on Saturday night with my full band, kind of taking over the whole night and bringing this kind of rootsiness. And then the following week I'm playing with the Springbok Nude Girls.
Nice.
Also
friends of the show.
Yeah, so that'll be really fun. And then, you know, as shows are opening up, I'll be booking festivals and playing.
Cool. Well, we need to get you to Hell's Kitchen. We need to get you to Hell's Kitchen in Johannesburg.
Oh, who played there the other night? Was it the
Tasers, Painted Flowers?
Well,
we do shows there every Sunday. So we have DiscovrTV presents there every Sunday, To Hell and Back. To Hell's and Back. It's called. So, yeah, and then we also would love to get you in our studio where we do Tales from the Lounge, which is our version of Tiny Desk in South Africa, which we have at our studio here in Four Ways in Johannesburg. So I'll drop you my number in the private chat.
That was a deal being made there. I saw that.
Yeah, a deal being made there. So I'll drop you my number in the private chat, and you can grab it from there. And just drop me a WhatsApp. We'd love to get you in studio. So we're quite excited. We're quite excited. We're launching Tales from the African Lounge on Quest TV in the US, showcasing African artists into America. So that's launching in April, May. So we're quite excited about that. But love to get you in studio. So yeah, very, very excited about that.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. But listen, we got our final guest hanging backstage. Andrew, thank you so much. Everybody can please go and check out andrewjed.com, and they'll get all the links. They'll get everything from there. Go and get the single, get the album, support, and we can't wait to have you in studio or live on stage with us. I'm very, very excited. Thank you, Andrew.
Deal. Me too. You guys are the best.
To meet you, man.
I'm quickly putting my number there.
Come back. This isn't a we have to keep reminding artists this is not a one-time only deal.
Yep, anytime. We are every single Monday.
Come back on. Come back on.
Awesome.
You guys
Thank you, Andrew.
Great job. This is awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it a lot. Chat soon. Okay. Cheers, mate. Bye.
Bye.
Love it.
Awesome. Love it. Well, I'm really excited now, Martin, because this next guest is very, very special for me. This is a moment I've been waiting for a long, long time, and I'm very, very excited. And it's a very emotional one for me as well, as we know. I'm very, very excited to announce and to present to you the one, the only, King of the Broken, here on New Music Mondays, live from next door. Shitting!
Louder.
Dill, you're muted. You're muted. Your mic's muted.
That should be good.
There we go.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hang on, I'm gonna have to put you on. There we go. Echo cancellation. There we go. Sorted. Done.
Okay, good.
King of the Broken. Very excited because we have an exclusive tonight on New Music Mondays. For the first time ever, we'll be showcasing a brand new DiscovrTV production. A music video that has been created for King of the Broken, and I'm very honored and very, very proud. I think is want of a better word. But before we play this video, tell us a little bit about who King of the Broken is and why this name came about. Because I think it's very important for people to know.
And why do you look so much like the guy next to you?
Well, the answer to your question, Martin, is because obviously he's my father.
Hey!
And both my music and my life, and a huge inspiration to keep me going in at least my music parts of things and a lot of everything else I do. But regarding the name, it's a bit of a rebrand from what I started off as. I started off as official DK music, and I hadn't really found a sound yet or a style of the way I made my music and made a portrayal of who I am.
Yeah.
And over my short lifespan, because I can't exactly say it's too long.
It's 20 years, not bad.
Over the years.
Over the years.
All the time that I've spent on this earth.
I have struggled quite a bit with mental health and just knowing who I am. So King of the Broken is kind of a representation for myself and for everybody that feels the same way, of this feeling of not knowing exactly who you are and having a lot of different parts of you that just put together make a whole, but then aren't necessarily ever together.
Yeah.
And the name itself comes from a song I wrote a couple years back called King of the Broken. It was my first proper full song, and I just liked the name so much that I kind of stuck with it. But it also is a very real embodiment of the kind of music I write. It's very self-conscious and aware of the difficulties that a lot of the youth in today's world does face, even though it's not always brought to light.
Yeah, that's something we've been speaking about a lot on the show as well for the last couple of months, really. COVID is also, we've seen a lot of people going through mental depression and things like this. Unfortunately, we've lost a lot of friends and musical icons to mental depression as well. So, I think it's important to have that voice. And I mean, this is why I get so excited when Dylan first played this song to me, which I think is, it's a year ago now, you first wrote this song.
Yeah, it's been about a year since I first wrote it and started recording.
Yeah, and I just think now more than ever, it's probably more important that this message is out there, and and that people hear it. And the first reactions we've had to the video and the single have been phenomenal. I mean, people are like sat there, some people in tears, literally not knowing how to react. And I think it's. I was playing it to a guy that I worked with today, actually, a guy by the name of Gary van Rit, who I did my very first album with back in 1992. Dylan's mom will remember him quite well. And Gary sat there, and Gary can be the most critical person of music. He'll sit there and go, "Oh, this is crap," or he's like that. You know what I mean? He doesn't mince his words, but he sat there and he said, "You know what? This message, what Dylan is saying, needs to get out there." And it's probably more important now than ever before because of what the youth are struggling with. And I think COVID has played a big part in that to a large degree for a lot of young people. And I think that for me, as somebody who's trying to help promote the song and being part of the music video, but also as a father, I think it's a very important thing that needs to get out there in this world right now. And maybe it will help a lot of people. And I think, if this song can touch one person, that is so important. By the way, your Nana says hello. She's like on the side. there she is. Yeah. And I mean, for you.
That was only one of the messages, by the way.
Yeah, there's about 300. Yeah, but I mean, I think maybe, Dol, this is the beginning of King of the Broken. Maybe you want to just share what your aim is as an artist.
Well, to be honest, I think you portrayed that pretty well. My objective in general is just to help people out, let them know they're not alone and there is someone that understands them, and show that I made it. Because if I made it, it means you guys can make it too.
And a big shout out to DJ, who produced the song with Dylan, and a lot of the backtrack being produced by DJ and his sister featuring it, and Bukang on vocals as well. There's been some really amazing people that have supported on this track. And then to the DiscovrTV team, who Ali, Mark, Aiden, Tabo, etc., that have literally got behind shooting the music video. And I think that's been really, really powerful. I mean, what were you the music video, what was that for you, Dol? I mean, because this is your first solo music video.
Yeah, it is my first ever solo music video, and I guess it is also my first single. I know I've had a lot of help and work done on the track, but it's something that I wrote entirely by myself. I made by myself, so it's not like it was made by someone else and I brought it to life. It's as real and close to me as it possibly can get. And the music video to me was quite an experience. I have to admit, I am still not entirely comfortable behind the camera, so I was very...
Well, in front of it, you are comfortable behind it.
Behind it, yes. In front of it, not so much. But yeah, I was a little bit uncomfortable, and in some parts it might portray, but I think it also helped get this message along, because it's not exactly something that's easy to say. Yeah. So I guess that being uncomfortable actually helped this song in particular. Because it's not one that's supposed to rile you up or give you energy. It's supposed to make you think and realize what's going on.
Well, let's watch it, guys. This will be a first play for anywhere in the world. I'm very proud of this. It's a great moment. This is King of the Broken with To Be Human. Please let us know what you think. Go.
Before we do that, I do want to say thank you as well to everyone in the team for helping me bring this to life, to all the people who helped produce this, and just bring my message out into a way that can be a little bit more received.
Fantastic.
Let's take a listen. We'll be back with you now, Dol. Don't go anywhere. This is King of the Broken, To Be Human. Let us know what you think.
Everything comes with a price. This is not an easy story to tell. I've grown up in a world where I'm afraid of being myself. Where to be accepted, I had to put my dreams on a shelf. I felt like there was no one I could really trust. Doing what I could so my mind would not combust. With a shattered psyche stuck in a dark place. Worrying that I'd never get rid of the dark face. Feeding my fears and my insecurities. A being made up of my own immaturity. I just wanted to be free of the cage that was holding me back. I needed a gauge to dose myself before I fought back. I needed a clarity to not be ruled by fury. I couldn't afford to be the court and jury. I needed the strength to not give up, so that I wouldn't keep judging myself as a fuck up. I needed the perseverance to get through the storm, so that the malevolence would not leave me torn. So the malevolence would not leave me torn. I'm drowning in this darkness every day. Feel like I could give my life away. Pain's killing me slowly from the core. I don't know how I could take anymore. Drowning in this darkness every day. Feel like I could give my life away. Pain's killing me slowly from the core. I don't know how I could take anymore. I feel alone fighting against the darkness I can't comprehend. I felt like I was going through a struggle that would never end. Living in a world where I feel so fucking alienated. I'm driven by the will to finally feel whole again. Sometimes I feel like all the darkness was something I hallucinated. But everything I felt is impressed on these pages with the flow of my pen. I feel like I'm drowning, but I ain't giving up again. Are you getting the shot that I'm lighting up to frame? I don't need no bullets, I just need a pen to paint a portrait of how it all began. The brotherly murder committed by Cain left humanity unable to truly be selfless again. Killer of planets, the selfishness is a disease, and only if we strike it down may we finally breathe.
Drowning in this darkness every day. Feel like I could give my life away. Pain's killing me slowly from the core. I don't know how I could take it anymore. Drowning in this darkness every day. Feel like I could give my life away. Pain's killing me slowly from the core. I don't know how I could take it anymore. Drowning in this darkness every day. Feel like I could give my life away. Pain's killing me slowly from the core. I don't know how I could take it anymore. Drowning in this darkness every day. Feel like I could give my life away. Pain's killing me slowly from the core. I don't know how I could take it anymore.
Being human is not the same as being humane. To be human is to be the cause of pain. To oneself or to others, it doesn't matter. All that does are the lives that we shatter.
To Be Human, King of the Broken. New Music Mondays. Wow.
Some powerful stuff.
Yep.
Powerful stuff. Mate,
Sure.
Great job, man.
What? We need one of those claps. I don't have mine.
No, sorry, yeah, go, come on. More.
Wow. All I can say is please listen to the words of that song if you're watching this video. The video will be released on Wednesday, 6 p.m. South African time on YouTube. We're going with the YouTube approach for a change as opposed to going the typical streaming, because I think this generation spends more time on YouTube than in any other platform.
Yeah, you're not entirely wrong, from my personal experience at least.
Yeah. And I think it makes sense to focus on that. So yeah,
Such a powerful message. It deserves a big platform. That's my take on it. So
yeah,
wherever it's going to get seen most is the right place for it. That's just straightforward as that, because it should be heard. You can hear just the tiniest hint of your dad's record collection in there.
No, this is 100% Dylan.
Yeah, there's no
Dad
influence. There's
know
no
about
influence.
this
No,
song.
you've not influenced him at all.
No.
He's not heard you play anything. I'm just saying some of it might have seeped in.
Maybe some of his dad has rubbed off on him somewhere along the line.
That's all I'm saying. Might have just seeped in.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Brilliant stuff.
for the making of the song, Dad didn't even know it was being made until it was finished.
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
I kept it a
Wow.
complete
How did you do
secret.
that? How did you do that?
I've actually gotten
'Cause I
pretty
think-
decent at making my own song.
Yeah, he's learning, and you know, there's a B-side that's going to be coming out to it as well, which we're quite excited about. MIA,
What I
Hedel.
mean, and how did you do it by yourself? That bit,
Yeah,
that
probably.
bit I'm taking for granted. You got the skills, dude. That's not about that. I'm just like, how did you keep it secret? That's what. That's what.
Dad's working too much.
When Dad's sleeping or he's working.
So, what are you
On my way to
doing?
work
What are you doing
around.
there, Dylan? Nothing.
Nothing.
Sounds like you're working on music. No.
No.
No, I went for the classic teenager excuse. I'm watching porn.
Well, King of the Broken is here, and we're very proud to announce it tonight. And I'm a very proud father and also partner in this venture. And yeah, I cannot wait to hear more, Dylan. I think, I've always said, I want this to be your story, not mine. This is your story, and it's your story to go wherever you want to go with it. And I think that's the most important thing. And, and it's the reaction and the message we're getting from everybody is follow your story.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to tell people about it.
Yeah. And I
As I
think
said earlier, my only objective with the music I make is to help people out. And even if I just help one person, that's enough for me.
yeah, you've done it.
Absolutely.
And I think you already have touched a lot of people, and I can't wait for the video to come out on YouTube for everybody to see. I know your nana is very, very proud, as I'm sure is your mom, Dee, everybody. And so we're all very proud. Your sister, and all your mates and everybody that you work with as well. We're all very proud of you, and we're all very proud of this project. And I honestly believe, you know, as you say, as if it touches one person, it's achieved everything it's meant to be. Yeah, and that's the most important thing. Wow, that's a way to end the show.
I've only got one last question.
Go for it.
Did you not get the message about the hats, Dylan?
Oh, dull.
No, I didn't. I did not get the message. No.
It's fine. That's fine. You dare to be different. It's fine.
There you go. He's going to be different.
Exactly. But as you said about the side B, MIA is another song that I've made entirely by myself, and I only showed Dad once it was done. It was a sort of strike of illumination one evening when I was hanging with one of my friends, Tas. Really good friend of mine. I spend a lot of time with him, and he's dealt with a lot of similar stuff that I've had to deal with. And I don't know, we were just talking about being lost in this overwhelming feeling of not being able to cope anymore. And that's how the title Missing in Action kind of came around. It's another one that I've entirely made by myself, the beats, the lyrics, everything.
Brilliant.
And I'm excited for people to actually hear that one too, because it's also very in line with this first one.
Fantastic.
Please go and subscribe to Dylan's channel on King of the Broken on Instagram. Probably where you'll be most active, more than Facebook. The youth don't really get into Facebook these days.
Did you just say the youth?
Yes, the youth. The youth.
There's nothing that makes you sound older than referring to
everybody as
people
the youth.
as the youth.
As the youth. That's true. I'm sure there'll be a TikTok channel as well. And yes, it will be available on all other platforms in early April. We're going to focus on the YouTube to start with, as we've mentioned, because we believe that's the right target audience. And yeah, go and subscribe. And guys, go and check it out. Thanks, Dill. We're very happy to have had you on the show. We can't wait to hear more. Yeah, we can't wait to be more. And this is a DiscovrTV exclusive, a DiscovrTV production, which will be out on Wednesday, 6 p.m. South African time. Please go and share the video, and it's on the DiscovrTV channel, so you can go to DiscovrTV on YouTube, and you'll be able to share it from there. It is as premiering on Wednesday at 6 p.m. There's already a link up on our channel, as well as on our social media. We'll put that up tomorrow, along with all the interviews. Yes, please remember to go and like and subscribe on our YouTube channel to become part of the story. You know, below there if you're watching. Yeah, below there. Dope, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on and being part of the show tonight. I know you're next door, which is literally a couple of feet away from me.
Reach across and shake your hand.
Yeah. But thank you, everybody. This is DiscovrTV, New Music Mondays, and we'll catch you same time, same place next week. We're out of here.
See you soon.
Good night, everybody. Bye.